is loud and filter it through the holy crowd. What would Jesus do today?
Welcome back again to Good Morning Church. Of course, we've been chatting with the folks of Citizens Against Noise Pollution, TT, and I was chatting with the president, Mr. Joey Mirage. Mr. Mirage, thank you again so much for being here with us. And we were talking about the balance between, how I asked you the question, the rights of the promoters and the business owners to the peace and quiet of families. And you were telling me, let's hear what you had to say.
Well, continuing from what I have said, I think there are simple strategies that the bar owners and the promoters can put in place in order to mitigate all this noise. So let's go with the bars, for example. Some of these bars put the speakers on the outside, where it's very loud, and I can't see the sense behind that, because if you keep your patrons inside and you keep the bar the noise at a certain level, people will enjoy themselves. A second, what they can also do is enclose the bars, keep your music inside, and that way everyone is happy, right? So that way the noise from the bar it wouldn't be as great on the outside, right? Yeah. And people could live with that. But concerning the FET promoters, stick to the decibel levels that the EMA requires. Usually the promoters and them will go for a variance. So just stick to that. They can also have meters, decibel meters during the FETs, so they can monitor how loud it is, so they can know when they are going above. And those simple things, I mean, among other things, those simple things could help, right? In striking a balance in terms of what the citizens want as against the FET promoters. I mean, there are a number of other things, but that will take a lengthy time to go into. But those simple measures put in place could have.
That seems more like a cultural change, which Trinidad culture, we enjoy the speaker outside the bar, so that when you're quite down the road, it's Friday, and it's time to come and drink. We like to not pay to go to the event, so we could stay home and hear the event while somebody else dog going crazy. That is truly a cultural. All them points that you just pointed out is truly a cultural change and a cultural shift that we need to experience. And these things take time. But you all have been around so long.
Right. I mean, this is not a problem, as I say, that's been happening in the last year or two. This is a problem that has been happening a very long time. So you had to start at some point in time in order to strike a balance for both parties to be happy.
Yeah. We also have with us concerned, very active citizen who's very close to the Citizens Against Noise Pollution, and who was around even when the EMA was formed. Am I correct, Mr. Donald Redmond? We have with us Mr. Donald Redmond.
Yes, good morning. I have been fighting this noise situation in my neighborhood for over 30 years. And
which neighborhood are we talking about? Sorry to cut you.
On the Eastern Main Road.
Oh, my goodness. Bar Central.
Right? Now, over 30 years. When I first started, I was told by the police they can't do anything. Go to a JP in Nibde. So I started off there. I went to a Justice of the Peace, and then eventually the EMA was formed, and I went to the EMA. And I will tell you something that a lot of citizens don't know. The EMA was first run by a gentleman called Dr. Dave McIntosh. Dr. Dave McIntosh was a very serious person. Mm-hmm. Under Dr. Dave McIntosh, the bar that was causing a problem by me was dealt with. It took some time, you have to write reports, and you have to write the complaint, and they have to come. But eventually, the EMA came and dealt with that bar in a very serious way. Problem was solved. Now the EMA then and the EMA now, vastly different.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bar ended up being a problem again when the ownership changed, and then the EMA became a shell of itself. Now, y'all are asking questions about how the bar owners and how the FET promoters. We have to ask ourselves, is this a civilized country? That's the question. Is Trinidad and Tobago a civilized country? If Trinidad and Tobago is a civilized country, then every citizen is supposed to understand that there are laws and everybody have rights. I have rights. I can't be lying on my bed 11 o'clock at night and I hear somebody in a bar about 3 houses away from me, not next door, right? 3 houses away from me, distance, singing loudly.
Yeah.
After I want to sleep. I have a right to sleep, right? Nighttime is for sleeping, but with democratic rights, if you don't want to sleep, you could not sleep. But you have a right to disturb who want to sleep.
Yeah.
Nobody would have thought years ago that people would not be able to smoke in cinemas. You see, a lot of people have this thing where they can't change that. And no. We are either a civilized country or we are a parlor, right? And if we are a civilized country, everybody must be told that everybody have rights. And your rights can't infringe my rights. So I'm saying that you're asking the question, what we want. What we want is a civilized country where my rights can be recognized and I don't have to be fighting for my rights, not in 2025. Okay? The bar owners, the guys with the music truck in cars, everybody must understand, must be made to understand by law enforcement and sensitization, right? That, hello, enjoy yourself, but your enjoyment can impact my right to peace and quiet. Yeah. It has to be done. We have long past the stage. It has to be done. It has to be done now.
Mr. Redmond, well, clearly, you're very, very passionate about everything that has to do with noise pollution. What would have been your reaction when you heard that this was the decision that the government was making? For you, was it a step towards civilizing our country? Is that how you looked at it?
But of course, and this is something long overdue. The way how some people react as if, oh, woe is us, we pet promoters, we will die now. No, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay? There are elderly people in their homes. My mother died at 96. So in her 90s, she was getting the pressure of noise from this bar. Why? She raised 3 children. She never made jail. She has a right to enjoy her peace and quiet, especially as a senior citizen. Why she had to go through that? People have to understand that you see, and I have to say this, what a lot of us missing is, what has really brought us here is lack of law enforcement, and that is cultural in Trinidad and Tobago too. Yeah. Really, we weren't accustomed with persons in charge not enforcing laws. And that is the heart of the problem too, and a lot of people missing that. And I have to add this one thing. There are people in authority who have not been speaking the truth. Okay, I'll just give an example. The head of the Bar Owners Association. Okay, I don't want to call his name. Yeah. But I read a newspaper today where he was saying that he agreed that bars really overdoing it and whatnot. And then he went on to say that the music from the bars really should be within the bars. Now, where did he get that from? I have never heard a police officer say that. But this gentleman knows that. I also know that. But if you ask 10 different police officers about noise pollution, you will get 10 different answers. And that is because they are not being told the truth.
You see, even with that, it's a task. It's a task on the police when you ask them, because they just see it as more work for themselves. So we just, as we come to the close, we appreciate you guys for stopping by. We are grateful for your insight and your input.
Thank you so much.
I was edified by certain things, and I feel so nice knowing that there are other persons who are working hard at making sure that we can all be, as Mr. Redmond say, civilized citizens in this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll
can I make one point before we close? Can I make one point, Phil?
Yes, go ahead.
In the past, I don't know if you guys recall, part of our culture was throwing garbage through the cars, throwing garbage on the street, all over. But then you could say that was part of being Trini. When you mess up and you're driving and throw your bottle outside and you go and dump garbage in all the lands. And so eventually, we got rid of that. Remember the campaign with Clean Up with Charlie and those kind of stuff. And that led to a cleaner Trinidad, somewhat cleaner Trinidad. So change may not be all that bad.
Yeah, it may not be all that bad. It might not be all that far away.
Yeah, so that, I mean, just like how that campaign took place and we had a better Trinidad, the same thing could apply. So being part of a culture, being cultural, as you would say, it changes, may for the betterment of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
All right. We would like to thank you, Citizens Against Noise Pollution TT, for joining us, Mr. Joey Maharaj, Mr. Donald Redmond, and Miss Tamara Cheta. Sorry about that. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with Good Morning Church.
Good morning, church.